Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Psyched to be here. I'm your host, Tori. Boy, do we have an exciting episode today with some great guest stars. You might be thinking, how are we going to be able to top last week's podcast when we literally had B.F. Skinner classically condition a rat to like the worst thing ever invented, country music, or when we had Pavlov bring his slobbering dogs just to slobber all over my brand new pants. Thanks, Pavlov. You're definitely going to get a cleaning bill from me very soon. Well, the answer is we can't, but we are sure going to try with our next guest. So go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
I'm Freud, and it's great to be here. Thanks for the warm introduction.
I'm Erich Fromm. Yes, I'm so excited.
So, what's the topic of conversation you both are going to be discussing with us today?
We're going to be talking about psychoanalysis and religion, the different types of religion and how that relates to our unconscious behaviors in relationships.
I think it all goes back to the parents.
Well, of course you do.
I mean, from my perspective, a person's relationship with religion is just like their relationship with their parents.
Didn't you think the same thing about childhood sexuality?
Yeah, what's your point?
Oh, nothing. Anyway, tell us more about religion and how it connects to parents.
Well, you see, the reason that people turn to religion is because it reminds them of when they're children. When we're children, we cope with insecurity and threats by relying on our parents. Now, as adults, we do that with religion and we see God as our father. Religion is an illusion based on a man's wishes.
Well, that's an interesting interpretation. Care to elaborate?
If a man gives up on the illusion of a fatherly God, it's the same as when a man has left his father's home. You get it? Because a man wants that same protection by his dad as he wants from God.
Yeah. Anyways, this seems like a great time for a commercial break. Sponsors are the reason we get to have this great podcast. So, to our audience out there, are you tired of not knowing all of those thoughts in your unconscious mind? Well, Freud has invented a pill that temporarily makes those thoughts conscious. Order your awareness pill for just $59.99 at 501-555-FREUD today. When you order a pill, your next therapy session with Freud is free. We are not liable for any trauma or side effects that may occur from the pill or the therapy session with Freud. So, back to our podcast. Erich, you've been quite quiet. What's your take on this whole psychoanalysis and religion thing?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to be quiet. I'm just fascinated with Freud's explanations of everything. I have quite a different view than him regarding religion and psychoanalysis. Instead of religion being some kind of representation of the relationship with our parents, I believe that people long for happiness. Therefore, some humans turn to religion, not for faith, but to try to escape doubt. People naturally want security, so we often try to find that in religion. I think some people have an inner emptiness that they then seek religion to fill. Professing religion does not mean being religious. To go even further on that, while people have created so many amazing things, we fail to be worth the things we've created. People live in chaos and are so close to madness when we should be happy and content. We all think we're happy as we teach our kids that we're more advanced than any generation before us. But will those kids know where to go and what to live for? We're just as helpless as them.
Wow, Erich. Way to be a Debbie Downer. Remind me not to invite you to any parties. But you're saying that people use religion to cope with their natural fears, insecurities, and doubts?
Exactly. And honestly, religion is messy and hypocritical. People profess their love for God, and that's why they turn to religion, when in reality, they're just searching for security.
Why would you say that?
Well, take for example Sunday school. Teachers teach the kids to be honest, have integrity, and care about others. But as these kids go through life, they're taught that to live by those standards makes them unrealistic dreamers. Quite sad in my opinion.
Yeah, and to go off that, I think that religion is just more constraining than freeing. It keeps a man in this bondage of dependence. It's like when you finally move out the house and leave your parents. Religion just takes their place. You're now just worshiping a different group. Also, there's this guilt that stems from an authoritarian perspective. Humans are afraid of punishment, and punishment would be to not be loved.
There are two types of religion, authoritarian and humanistic. Authoritarian religions are like an abusive relationship. You say that your God is almighty and everything while you are nothing. You say that all your accomplishments are because of God and pray to him over things you can't control. Religion is like that deadbeat boyfriend who's been eating all your food and crashing on your couch. Dump him. The humanistic approach says that we have to focus on our strength, not our powerlessness. This type of religion says man can become his best self through self-realization, not obedience.
I personally think that religion is just an illusion that stops critical thinking. It puts morality on shaky grounds. Do you know how many different religions there are and how to some extent they value different things? We can't continue to connect religion and ethics because it'll just destroy our morals. Only someone who's freed themselves from all the authority can have the power of reason and be objective about their place in the world.
I have heard from many theologians considering dependence and powerlessness the core of religious beliefs.
Wow, guys, the Pope would not like y'all. Also, remind me to never bring y'all to my church. But anyway, we're out of time, so I would really like to thank Freud and Erich for being here, even though y'all didn't need to be such Debbie Downers. But to the audience, remember to like, subscribe, and hit that follow button so you don't miss an episode. Also, don't forget to leave a comment on who you'd like to see on our next podcast. Also, for every one of Freud's awareness pills sold, a portion of those sales goes to making this podcast. So use your code, you got it from your mom, for 20% off. And that's all for Psyched to Be Here.